Hello and welcome to this free introduction to Rocket Career Coaching. My name's Robin and I'll be your instructor on this online course. Do you find that you lack clarity when it comes to building and growing your career? Whether you like it or not, work takes up the large bulk of our time and attention. So it's important to be able to think about your career with a greater sense of strategy and clarity. The problem, though, is that most free institutional career advice tends to be too narrowly focused and not personal enough, whereas one-to-one consultancy agencies that perhaps do offer premium career coaching are highly priced. Here at Rocket, our mission is to sit in the happy middle ground between these two options, to make premium career coaching easily accessible and affordable to everyone. Once you nail down your career game, then you'll be far more likely to get offered better jobs at a higher salary, as well as spot and execute on exciting business ideas that align with your personality and goals. You were given talents to share with the world. They're not yours to waste. They're to be nurtured so that other people can benefit from what it is you have to offer. The time is now to begin creating your dream career. So let's get started. This course is for anyone and everyone who wants to learn how to take their career or business to the next level. You'll learn a holistic career strategy from start to finish. Whether you're a student with no clear idea of what lies ahead and you're starting from scratch, or you're a budding entrepreneur who's passionate about building and growing their side hustle or business, or you're an experienced professional who wants to reignite your career, this online masterclass is packed with everything you need to know in order to confidently move your career or business from beginner to guru. The unique thing about the Rocket course is that it's an all-in-one online career coaching masterclass. Firstly, you're going to learn how to quickly step out of your box and see the big picture, and begin mapping your career journey with a greater sense of purpose, strategy, and efficiency. Secondly, the course also has an emphasis on personal development and well-being, as well as professional development and entrepreneurship. This is important, as it's going to help you develop the right habits and mindset for success. Personal growth is core to your career growth. Without it, you'll always struggle to make any substantial progress in your career. With it, you'll see your results rocket. Thirdly, it will also help you in the short term as well as in the long term. Included are lessons that focus on teaching you how to secure a fulfilling remote job working from home in the immediate future, as well as top tips on how to get promoted in your current job. Finally, we'll show you how you can go about setting up a profitable side hustle alongside your day job. This final section of the course will teach you how to begin thinking about building your monetization strategy, how to develop a step-by-step sales funnel to help you attract and convince your target customer, how to create and set up your own online course, and last but not least, how to set up and manage yourself as a successful freelancer. This isn't just a book that you'll end up putting on a shelf to gather dust. This is an interactive course that will help you build a solid foundation to your career, enabling you to think independently and creatively about how you choose to grow your career moving forwards. It's been designed to flexibly fit around your lifestyle, to allow you to go through the program in your own time and at your own speed, and to focus on the sections that are most relevant to you. The course contains 37 exercise files, including example templates to help get your brain warmed up, and all the tools and video lessons that you need to walk you through your career journey step by step. The course is structured into 4 levels: purpose, well-being, professional development, and solopreneurship. Traditional career advice tends to focus mainly on just level 3, professional development. This includes stuff like what university course you should enroll into, what type of job role would suit you best, how to craft your CV and cover letter, how to present well at job interviews, and how to apply yourself more effectively once you do graduate from higher education and enter a professional workplace. This advice is all good stuff, but it's only part of the overall process. In order to build a career in which you'll truly flourish, you need to be able to see and understand the big picture, which is what you'll learn on this masterclass. The core theme running through the course is that essentially there are 3 career options that you can pick and choose from when thinking about growing your career. These are climbing the corporate ladder, starting your own product-based business. Typically this tends to be a B2C business model, which stands for business to consumer, And route 3 is starting your own service based business. This is known as freelancing and typically tends to work as a B2B business model, which stands for business to business. We'll be discussing B2C and B2B business models in more detail throughout the course, but generally you can think of B2C as a business model in which you create a low priced product to a mass audience, whereas a B2B business model is where you create a high priced service to a niche audience. The traditional climb the corporate ladder model to success tends to be the default option that most young people are encouraged to focus on. However, what most graduates tend to learn fairly quickly is that this career pathway tends to largely involve working long work days, short weekends, eating lunch at your desk, and a large dollop of toxic office politics within an industry that you may very likely have no great interest in. With this career route, it almost feels like you have to sell your soul to the corporate system. The online masterclass will show you a more holistic, meaningful, and effective approach to how you can go about developing your career. The rocket approach looks something like this. Firstly, we help you come up with an exciting idea for your career that focuses on solving a problem that you're passionate about. Secondly, we then help you evaluate that idea so that it's aligned with the skills that you're naturally strong in and fits within a relevant and lucrative industry. Thirdly, we then help you establish yourself as an industry expert while also advising you on how to build your product or service. Fourthly, we show you how to grow your own online brand and network with a step-by-step sales funnel to attract and convince your target audience. And finally, we show you how to build your own side hustle alongside your day job and then learn to grow it into a full-time business, and how to do this all on your own terms, in your own time, and getting well paid for it. The masterclass will walk you through this whole process step by step, in which you'll learn to, first, ground yourself in an entrepreneurial and leadership mindset, and then powerfully launch your career or business in your desired direction. Regardless of your age, your skill level, or wherever you live, the masterclass will clearly set out your path to success. As already mentioned, the core theme running throughout the course is that there are essentially 3 options you can take when thinking about growing your career. These are Route 1, climbing the corporate ladder; Route 2, starting up your own product-based business; Route 3, starting up your own service-based business. Which route should you take? There is no necessarily right or wrong career route to take. It's very much dependent on you as a person and your values. However, we do think it's valuable to have a solid understanding of all 3 options in order to help you see the bigger picture and help keep your options open. Let's analyze these 3 routes in a bit more detail now. This first option is to focus on climbing the corporate ladder. This is where you go for promotion. You may want to go into management. You could achieve this by going up one company or go zigzag between companies. This can be a good option for establishing a sustainable cash flow, but on the downside, it may not be the best option in terms of work-life balance and fulfilling your purpose. Also, depending on your job role and industry, you'll find that rarely will you get paid what you're worth. Usually, you'll get paid just enough to stop you from quitting. With this career route, you kind of have to sell your soul to the company a little bit. If you're able to find the perfect job in the perfect industry with the perfect company, then yes, you can certainly be happy working your way up the corporate ladder. But for many people, it can be difficult to achieve. The good news, though, is that following the lessons and exercises in the masterclass will certainly give you every chance of succeeding if you do choose to 100% focus on this career route. There are a few risks when choosing this option worth noting. These include, firstly, will you enjoy the work-life balance? As mentioned, getting a job within the right industry and with the right company culture may not always be straightforward. Climbing the corporate ladder, for many people, can be a relatively long process of hopping from one unsatisfying job to another in order to eventually get to where you want to be. What will your colleagues be like? Climbing the corporate ladder can be fiercely competitive, which means there may very well be a toxic culture in your workplace, which won't be great for your general well-being. What will your commute be like? You also most likely won't be in control of your time or your work. Also, your employer won't ever pay you for what you're worth. On many occasions, employers get 3 times the investment for what they pay you. And last but not least, you will constantly be exposed to the risk that you may get fired or made redundant because your boss might not like you or the company might get sold off. So, for all of these points above, we do think it is actually a risky career option to go all in on, which is why it's important to bear in mind the other two routes as well. The second career route is to start up your own product based business. We'll be discussing how to build your own product based business in more detail in the course. Most people value the straightforward security of employment, and that's because most people tend to follow the same templates of success as everyone else. Most people's idea of success includes owning your own home, raising a family, having a nice car, and going on holiday once or twice a year. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But entrepreneurs tend to have a different set of values. Values that are more centered around doing meaningful work from both a personal point of view as well as from a social and political perspective, too. Research has shown that the key to a happy career is about more than money and doing something you enjoy. Being satisfied in your career is about the ability to learn, grow in responsibilities, contribute, and be recognized. And more often than not, you tend to get that when you're in control of your work, rather than being controlled by an employer. The main thing stopping most people from taking the leap to starting their own business is fear. Most people just assume that setting up your own business will be too difficult and worry about things like having to do your own finances, which actually turns out to be incredibly easy. The first thing about being self-employed is it's actually more secure than you think, because you don't have a boss who controls you and who can fire you at random because they decide they don't like you. So, starting your own business could actually be the safer path. Not only can it open up a second financial revenue stream, which could potentially be very profitable, but growing your own product-based business can be done gradually as a side hustle alongside a regular job, before it sprouts into becoming a full-time source of income. Further to this, growing your own product business can act as the catalyst to branding yourself as an industry expert, building a relevant network of industry contacts, and developing your project management and marketing skills. Jobs aren't guaranteed, and there will be a ceiling on how much you can earn. When you start your own business, the sky's the limit, and you can design your life however you want. The third career route is to start up your own service-based business, which is known as freelancing. It's not easy being a freelancer, but it's not as risky as you might think, too. You'll have to learn how to find clients, communicate effectively, and run a business, but it's never been easier to get started. And if you've got a specific skill that you're already experienced in, then we'd certainly recommend thinking about expanding your career into this route too. The structure of the course is split into 4 levels, which include 22 video lessons. The first and foundational level to building your career is to ground yourself with an entrepreneurial mindset. This section is split into 10 video lessons. In Lesson 1, you'll be introduced to the 37 exercise files, which focus on helping you discover your purpose and your industry, as well as documents that help you manage your research, networking activity, well-being activity, content marketing strategy, plus much more. In this first lesson, you'll learn how to organize these exercise files and tools so that moving forward, you'll have faster and easier access to these key resources. In Lesson 2, you'll then begin to start coming up with a goldmine of exciting ideas of what your career purpose could be. Once you have an idea that you feel passionate about, you'll then learn how to start framing that idea into a potential career or business opportunity. However wonderful your idea is, though, it won't become a career or business opportunity until you're able to confidently tick off a series of questions. This lesson will tell you if you're onto a winning idea, or if you need to go back to square one and come up with a new idea. You'll then learn how to identify the relevant industry that fits into your purpose. Focusing your time and experience within the bubble of a specific industry will not only help speed up your professional growth, it will also help you attract potential hiring companies and affiliates that operate in the same bubble. You'll then learn how to focus your research in order to help establish yourself as an industry expert. The mistake that most people make when developing their careers or business is that they don't give this research phase the correct focus and time it deserves. The first step to becoming an expert is to focus on developing your product. It's important to mention at this point the word product is being used quite loosely here. If your career route is primarily to work your way up the corporate ladder and you have no great interest in starting a side business, then essentially you are the product. You are selling yourself and your suitability to your desired job role. Rather than selling to a consumer, you're selling to a company recruiter. However, once you start getting really good at your job, you may decide that you want to go solo and establish yourself as a freelancer. In this way, you're not just selling yourself to one company, you're marketing yourself as available for work to all companies within your industry. Doing a competitor analysis will not only help you build your product, but it will also give you a good idea of how to brand, market, and price yourself too. Here, you'll learn how to understand your competitive landscape, how you can position yourself against your competitors, and finally, how you can add value to your audience that they're not currently getting. You'll then learn how to take your industry research to the next level. Industry research is what's going to help you grow some of your key marketing initiatives, such as your network and affiliate partnerships. Industry research also largely underpins your content marketing too, which is an essential part to your sales funnel, as we'll importantly be discussing towards the end of the course. Understanding your target customer should be core to all of your product and marketing initiatives. In this lesson, we've set out a series of questions to help you better identify and understand your target customer. The second level to building your career is to focus on your well-being. In order to really turn your vision into reality and become a leader in your industry, you need to understand that professional development and personal development go hand in hand. We call this your personal growth plan, which is all about disciplining yourself with the right mindset, values, and habits. You can think of it a bit like gardening for your soul, in order to nurture your potential. Your personal growth plan will help you improve your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, as well as your focus, time management, and leadership potential. This section is split into 3 video lessons, which are then broken down into 9 steps. These include having a purpose, setting yourself goals, having a system in place to improve your focus, maintaining discipline, scheduling health and well-being activities into your calendar, using self-talk to help you set positive affirmations, sticking to your plan and learning to cope with setbacks, and finally, breaking out of your comfort zone. The third level to building your career is to focus on the first career route, which is climbing the corporate ladder. This section is split into 5 video lessons. Once you have a better understanding of what industry you want to specialize in, you then want to quickly be turning your attention to what job role you want to become experienced in, and start identifying and developing the relevant knowledge, skills, and qualifications. In this lesson, you'll learn how to identify what job role would suit you best, how to conduct a gap analysis in order to identify the knowledge, skills, and qualifications you need to become experienced in, and then finally identify the 3 key methods you need to be aware of in order to help you develop your knowledge, skills, and qualifications without necessarily having to spend years and thousands of pounds at university. You'll then learn 2 different approaches to online job hunting, depending on what your career goal is. Whether your goal is to find your dream job working for your dream company, or if your goal is to find a flexible part-time job that you can work from home to help financially support you while you work on your side hustle. You'll also learn how to maximize the power of social media to help you build and grow your professional brand and network, and position yourself as an industry expert. In Lesson 16, we break down the exact step-by-step framework on how to present yourself when applying for a job. This includes providing you with a template example to help you construct the perfect CV and cover letter. Preparing for job interviews can be daunting. Job interviews are a different interaction than anything else you would do in normal life, so naturally people are not particularly comfortable doing them. But, armed with the top tips and exercises in this video lesson, you can get really good at them. Being promotable primarily means being someone who consistently meets targets and deadlines, communicates in a clear way, and is able to see the big picture. The final lesson in this section explains the 7 key principles that you need to be aware of to help you rise up the ranks quickly in your current company. The final level to growing your career will then explain the other 2 career routes in more detail, which are starting up your own product-based business and starting up your own service-based business. This level is split into 4 video lessons. If you find that you're not aligned with your current career path up the corporate ladder, you may want to consider taking a more dramatic pivot by creating a parallel career and starting up your own side hustle. In this lesson, you'll learn how to manage your time in order to fit a side hustle alongside your current job, how to manage your finances in order to minimize your risk when making the transition, and last but not least, how to find a flexible part-time job which you can work from home to again help you manage your time and finances during this transitional phase in your career. In Lesson 20, you'll learn the important building blocks to building your business. These include how to develop your monetization strategy, being aware of key legal issues, and last but not least, we set out a 9-step sales funnel to help you attract and convince your ideal customer to follow you and take the desired action of purchasing your product. A good low-risk place to start when it comes to dipping your feet into the world of B2C entrepreneurship is to set up your own online course. Creating an online course can be a great way of establishing yourself as an industry expert. It's inexpensive to set up and can act as a profitable part-time passive income. In this video lesson, you'll learn everything you need to know in order to create and market your own online course. Last but not least, the third career route to consider is to set yourself up as a freelancer. This is when, rather than selling a B2C product, for example an online course, you sell a service, such as marketing, graphic design, or a consultancy solution that helps business operate more efficiently. Freelancing allows you to do the work you love and build your life around it. And if you've already established a specific skill that you're experienced in, then we'd certainly recommend that you try it. The online course is made up of an ebook, 22 video lessons, and 37 exercise files, which you're encouraged to work through. When working through the exercise files for the first time, we recommend that you get through them fairly quickly. The reason for this is that you'll get different ideas from the different exercise files, and because to quite a large extent, all the exercises are interconnected. What you'll find is that the ideas you'll form in the later exercises will enhance your ideas from the initial exercises. Don't worry too much if you don't feel like you're nailing each exercise on your first turn. You'll build up your answers gradually over time. For example, some exercises are best suited for when you're in the product development stage, and other exercises are best suited for when you're ready to scale up on the marketing side of things. Ideally, we'd recommend that you run through all of the exercises 3 times. The first run you can do fairly quickly. The aim of this run is to get you familiar with the course content and start sketching out your career plan. You should be able to complete this in around 7 days. You can then do a second run through the course and start putting some extra meat to the bones of the ideas you have sketched out from your first run. Finally, once you have more concrete answers to each exercise, you can return back and forth between exercises using your own judgment depending on what stage you're at and what your priorities are. Eventually, you'll get to the point where it's perfectly normal to seamlessly hop between different exercises and update them as you see fit. The course has been designed to help you evolve as a professional. This means that you should be constantly developing and tweaking your answers to each exercise. The whole idea of these exercise files is that they are an accessible place where you'll be able to store, edit, and evolve all of your ideas over time into a winning logical narrative. If you're currently looking for a job, this course could be your full-time job. If you're unhappy in your current position and want a change, this could be the beginning to your part-time side hustle. By following this online course, you'll be making progress towards an exciting new career that is right for you. The career landscape can be a scary and volatile ocean, and if you're not careful, you can easily lose your sense of direction. Here at Rocket, our goal is to navigate you through these stormy waters and to help you find the treasure at the end of the rainbow.